Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Your own 24-yard line.
They'll run for the first time with Kareem Hunt. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Ball carrier.
The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 19 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Second and 11 now. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's got Edelman for the first time. That's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So if they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
2nd and 3. And incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Down and 3 yards to go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Falcons grab it. He's at the 40. 20. 10. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not a...
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Julian Edelman on the return.
Come on,
the
guys,
Vikings
let's go.
take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He's probably a little angry at himself. It was his fumble, obviously, a moment ago that led to the scoop and score touchdown that has him down early.
And now we find out about the psychology aspect of being a coach. Because when you have a guy who's that's just happened, Some people want to take him out of the game immediately. Others say, you know something? Let's feed him the ball again next series and see if he's going to be able to atone for it. Let's see what they decide to do.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
That's off the mark, incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
And 8 yards to go.
And he's got Snead. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route.
It's Hunt, and he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
The ball carrier.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Now back to throw. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately. I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. So a long field ahead for the Falcon offense as they head out. As we get a peek at the former Red Raider and 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, Accentuate the Positive. That's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Mahomes going to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. A gain of 13. It's a first down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 90 yards.
And what we just saw there was exactly what they need against this defense. Big plays. They were able to pick up a first down on that one.
And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's 2nd down.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd.
On 2nd and 9. Mahomes. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Casey on the coverage.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Mahomes to throw. Flush to his right. Airing it out, looking for... He's got a man. Complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. Well, we knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
Well, when you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage. They can often throw it over your head.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
2nd and 5. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Looking middle, and that's complete. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Hunt. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively rallying to the ball after the nice move. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Here's Hunt. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
That's out to the left flat and complete. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Number 87. It's a loss of 2.
He was able to get away initially on that play, but ultimately not much space to roam.
Great job there by them containing him, because you mentioned he got away initially, and how many times does that end up with a guy taking off for 15 or 20 yards? Here, the support was there, and they made the tackle for a loss.
Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
On 1st down, Hunt. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Taken down right.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Gain on the play. Brings up 2nd.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. 2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
Makes the score Falcons 7, Vikings 3.
So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
21-yard line.
So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
7, Vikings 3.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. Now let's listen in on the call. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. And he'll give it here to his running back. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And now out comes Minnesota. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Boy, once you get Kareem Hunt in the open field, look out. He's got speed to burn, and he showed off the wheels on that one.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? He was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
And the next-gen stats show him reaching at a top speed of 20 miles an hour. Now, after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line.
He's brought down.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
On the run, this is Hunt. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4.
Brings up 3rd.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run with Hunt. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? Marcus Cannon, the guilty party there. They'll run. This is Hunt. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
Right at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Second down at the Falcons' 30-yard line.
On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch.
The pass.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
A gain of 10 makes it 3rd and 9.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That is caught inside the 5. Now the ball comes loose, and the Falcons grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. And if his coaches are correct, we're going to see a lot more runs like that from this young rookie going forward.
And you know, slapping each other on the back up in the booths right now? The scouting department, because they really recommended this guy highly, and he's justifying their faith in him.
So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down. Tackle made there by Matt Milano.
2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
And it's 3rd down.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Here's Brett Kern now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Nifty move. 51 yards on the punt there.
1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? 25 yards to pick up there, and also a 1st down.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts, because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
They continue to run this right up the middle. I don't know if they can wait till halftime
halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. To the left side and complete for Julian Edelman. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 26-yard line.
They'll run it here with Hunt. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. The Vikings on third down. 5 out of 9 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. He's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Hunt, and he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Kareem Hunt, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So that drives 7 plays in length. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off, as he did so with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Marching in for the sack, Michael Brockers.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
The holding penalty negates a good return as they'll start just past the 20. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They go right back to him for 20 and a first.
6-yard line.
You know, I was worried about the smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw again. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver.
They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
2nd and 5 at the 16-yard line.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Brings up 3rd and
Again, he'll drop to throw. The 3rd down battle won by Atlanta's defense. Solid coverage.
It's now 4th down.
So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. A 33-yarder from the left hash. Low-size kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
34-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk taken.
And got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And you can see an 8-point game as they've gone to the intermission. Philip Dorsett, a touchdown catch in that first half. From there, it's off to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium. And that one all tied as they host the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville. See what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. Devontae Parker, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he's going to have a Falcons first down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. He probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 38. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
36-yard line.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Call it a pickup of 7, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Going to give this time to the tailback. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL, and all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
They go play fake. Mahomes. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. And he slings one that's incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now here's Mahomes. Throwing right, and that's complete. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. And they keep those sticks moving forward, that time with a gain of 3. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
At the 5-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. Hopkins' kick is good. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13 to 10.
Falcons 10.
So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
25-yard line.
So here are the Vikings to take over. They're in the driver's seat right now, and they were winners last week over the Seattle Seahawks, so trying to keep that momentum moving in the positive direction. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Kareem Hunt brings up 3rd down.
On 3rd down, here's Hunt. And this will be a Vikings first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
Minnesota Vikings.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On first down, they go right back to Hunt. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
Oh, you Kareem Hunt. We know you got the power. We know you got the speed. Now how about that? Show us a little bit of that wiggle in there. How about that one, partner?
Can you imagine trying to tackle that? Yeah, I'll stay up here with you. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. On play action, they'll throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
At the 40-yard line.
Now this is Hilton on the receiving end. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcon 16. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
That was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake in the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. This is Hunt. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
They run again with Hunt. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Kareem Hunt, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is lets you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off, as he did so with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he returns this to the 22.
Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game.
first down.
Partner sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Mahomes now on first down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the fourth. Throwing again on second down. Mahomes. Oh, no, he lost the football. Able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
The Falcons on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 11. Now Mahomes. And that will be incomplete. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Atlanta.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 20.
Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just got to have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up second.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Hunt. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6.
He'll look to throw. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Out of the gun now on third down. Going up top. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
This play started with the protection. You have to have it to give your quarterback time to let routes develop downfield. And then it's on him to locate an open man, and he does just that. Play callers love 4 vertical routes because receivers can be open at any time downfield, often for big gains.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He'll try and run it. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down. A carry here for Hunt. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
And that call makes sense.
So they hit pay dirt, but don't count it yet. There's laundry on the field. We'll see what the penalty flag is about.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
19-yard line.
Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Here's Brett Kern now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt.
At their own 17-yard.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
High throw, but he makes the catch. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. They'll run on 1st down. It's Hunt. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
And he will find his man on the end route, complete.
That's a
got that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a good point there is they were able to connect.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball. You often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Julian Edelman, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. And he will have a Vikings first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. 7 catches for him now, and his last one, a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
It doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
42-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll run again with Hunt. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll run with Hunt. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they will take a knee here. A 2nd and 11 from the 19. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Vikings, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they taste defeat for the first time this season as they drop to 5-1. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.